Seltzer Kings
podcasts.
Hey, it's me, the Quenchies. I'm that late afternoon craving you just can't shake. Wait, what's that? Welch's Grape Aid? No! Made with real fruit and no added sugar, nothing answers the call of the Quenchies like Grape Aid. Got the Quenchies? Grab a Grape Aid in your juice aisle.
I just feel like the junior partner. You've been doing everything longer than me. You've been out longer. You've been practicing witchcraft way longer.
Oh, but you're way beyond me there. And just a few... I mean, it frightens me how powerful you're getting.
That's a weird word.
Getting?
It frightens you? I frighten you?
That's so not what I meant. I meant impressive.
Well, I took Psych 101. I mean, I took it from an evil government scientist who was skewered by her Frankenstein-like creation before the final, but I know what a Freudian slip is.
Hello, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Boys Watching Buffy. We're just two boys watching every episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the first time, giving our review, our reactions. We're your hosts. I'm Joe Welke.
I am Vance.
Today we're talking Season 5, Episode 19, titled Tough Love. Directed by David Grossman, written by Rebecca Rand Kirshner. Original air date May 1st, 2001 to an audience of 4.59 million people. And before we get into the episode, everybody, we've got some frickin' shout outs. Quite a few shout outs. Some from across the pond, which is nice.
Oh, that's where Giles is from.
Yeah, they're in the country of the land of the Watchers.
Un-American.
We gotta give a shout out to Ali Moo. Thank you for your 5-star podcast review. We gotta give a shout out to Laura in Manchester, UK. Thank you for your review. And Carrie497 for your awesome review. Oh, it's always nice to see those 5-star reviews. We also got a 1-star review from somebody, but you ain't getting a shout out. We made it. We got haters.
Yeah. We also have some other shout outs that we have to give out.
Yeah, we do.
We have a shout out from the Buff Baddie on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Shared a nice post and decided to give that person a shout out. Appreciate it. Appreciate the love. And we did it, everyone.
We did it.
We went to Olive
family.
We went to Olive Garden thanks to Paul, producer PK on Instagram, and we really appreciate it. Sent in some gift cards from our Amazon wish list. We went to Olive Garden. We're gonna give a quick little review, but first, I want to shout out producer PK. He's been working on a couple shows. The Case of the Greater Gatsby, and The Headless Horseman with at Shipwrecked Comedy. So check that out. These are some narrative podcasts, and they're pretty good.
Yeah.
The Headless one is more of a that one's not a narrative podcast. That one's a full-on show, full-on series. Yeah. But the newest
Orson
one they
Welles
have is
shit.
The Case of the Greater Gatsby. So check that out on Instagram at producer PK. Thank you, Paul. We appreciate it. And we're going to dive into I'm going to give a quick little review of Olive Garden. We don't want to derail the podcast too much. But it was our first time there. My first time there.
Vance's first time there.
Joe's been family. I'm still waiting. Family. I'm still waiting for the adoption papers to clear. All right. So I get the hype on the breadsticks and the salad.
Yeah.
I did not have the
legends.
I did not have the soup. Joe got a soup. How was the soup?
Yeah, the minestrone wasn't that good this time around.
Okay.
I've gotten it at the Olive Garden in Burbank, much better. This one in Glendale, little less than stellar.
We probably should have gone to the Burbank one.
Yeah. Burbank one seems more official.
Yeah. This one seems like it's yeah. Anyway.
There was a table next to us that didn't get bussed for a whole hour.
Not sure why, but yeah. I will say our waitress was great. Enjoyed that. I really love this salad. that whole like the salad with the whole serpent. They gave me I thought it was just going to be a side salad for me, but it was like for the table, basically.
Yeah, they gave it to you like in that gigantic mixing bowl that's like a floral and shit. That's how we do it, baby. Yeah. At the OG.
I think if I was to go back, I would probably just do the breadstick salad and maybe add some chicken to it or something. Or maybe get one like pasta or something. But being my first time there, I did the tour of Italy, which is the lasagna, the Alfredo, and the chicken parm. Mm-hmm. And in that order is how I would probably rank those. I thought the lasagna was the best. I thought the Alfredo was good, not great, but second best. And the chicken parm, not a fan. Wouldn't recommend.
Yeah, I got the chicken and shrimp carbonara, and I've gotten it at the Burbank location before, and it was much better than the one. Like the chicken felt like just spongy and weird at this one. So,
and that's the thing you're going to deal with when you go to a chain restaurant. You know, certain locations are going to be on some nights, other nights. I mean, this one we had a lot of manager stop by.
Dude, we had like 3 managers come by, 3 or 4 of them come by and be like, "Is everything going okay?" I was like, "What's going on? Like is our waitress about to get fired? Like, what's happening?"
Yeah.
But also as a part of the Olive Garden trip experience, I got to deliver Vance his portion of the Tofu Lover Baja Blast Mountain Dew Energy, which I've got mine right here.
I got mine right here.
Are you cracking this open?
This is
cracking?
Yeah.
Let's get cracking. Oh, yeah.
This is an epic podcast, man.
Mm-hmm. We're in our Dew era. We got some people that are in season 3, season 4, season 2, whatever, when we just first announced Discord and shit. They haven't even gotten to the Dew era, dude. Like,
so this is
when shit got wild.
This is my first Baja Blast.
Yeah.
Ever. Of any kind. This is the Baja Blast energy drink. Courtesy of Tofu Lover? Is that it?
Tofu Lover, yep.
Okay. So, does this Baja Blast taste like Baja Blast regular Mountain Dew?
Yeah, it does.
It is a tropical lime flavor.
Yeah. That's what it says on the thing.
Yeah, it's fine.
I want you to know this is widely regarded as the best Mountain Dew flavor.
I know. I don't know what I expected. Yeah,
it's good. It's just good.
It's fine. I mean, I still have one of the other ones that we had, the
major melon, yeah.
And I can't tell if which one I like.
You gotta
better.
drink them back to back.
Yeah, my heart's gonna explode with these energy drinks. But I'm ready for that to kick in.
It'll be great.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing before we dive into this episode. We've got a lot of chatter about our comment on Giles listening to music from the Forever episode, I think 2 episodes ago. And it's been brought to our attention that he is listening to the record that he was listening to with Joyce in Band Candy. Mm-hmm. Some people knew that, some people didn't. We obviously didn't.
It was brought to our attention quite a few times. But
I felt I wanted to share that just for like someone who's been watching the show forever and didn't really put that together. Because some people hadn't gotten that. And that's a really nice touch. Very deep cut of the show, especially for something that's like
if you were watching this live as it like there's I can't
unless you know that song, unless you like that song stuck in your head from Band Candy, which was not like my highlight from Band Candy, then you would get it. But other than that, I think it'll be pretty tough to relate the two.
Yeah. I mean,
you can kind of get it out of context.
I mean, if you were watching it as it aired, that shit happened like years and years ago. Yeah. Like we have been watching this like week to week to week And still, we reviewed Band Candy like a year and a half ago, I think. It's been a while.
Yeah.
Imagine like it would be like 3 years in actual air date time.
Unless you were like such a Buffy fan, which people were, where they were just watching the reruns during the time.
Yeah, I wonder how frequently they had the reruns or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. All right, let's get into the tough love. This episode, what did you think of this episode to begin with?
I thought it was okay. I thought it was just an okay one. It moves the story fast towards the end. Like we're getting to the end game. But some of the stuff in the middle was kind of, I thought the whole Willow character arc thing for her to be like, the whole thing is her being like, no one listens to my opinion. I know what it's like, but you don't know what it's like. And everyone's telling her she doesn't know what it's like. And then at the end, she gets to know what it's like. And I was like, wait, that's what we want? And we got Anya going off the deep end. So yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I thought that this one had some interesting ideas. Oddly enough, I thought that the acting in this episode was bad. I thought some of the acting was bad, and I feel so bad for Amber Benson. They keep saddling her with just the worst stuff. They give her the worst stuff, dude.
Someone on Discord asked, "Do you like Tara now?"
I just
as soon as I saw this, as soon as I saw her eating the applesauce, I was like, "Oh man."
I was like, why do they keep doing this to this poor lady? Like, they gave her a stutter, which came and went, and now they just made her. They just made her crazy, and I don't.
And it's not even funny crazy. Like, like when Joyce had her like tumor, and she would just say stuff that was like scary but comical, you know?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, that would be funny out of context. Her stuff is just like, what is this?
Yeah.
I didn't write down any of her lines that she said when she was crazy, so I don't have any quotes.
I didn't either. But all right, let's get into this.
I think we can say Tara's going crazy, right? Like, is that this seems like the only time you can use like crazy to describe someone.
She got her mind melted.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, it's but also like there's this. I'll talk about it when we get to it. All right. The episode opens up with a recap of who Glory is, and she's looking for the key, basically. The episode actually opens up with Buffy going to this Professor Lillian, going up to Professor Lillian and being like, hey, sorry I missed your lecture, but I need to let you know that I'm dropping your class. Actually, I'm dropping all my classes. I'm dropping out of college. I need to take care of my sister for the time being. My mom died, and Professor Lillian's like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry for your loss. I completely understand. And Buffy's like, yeah, it's a bummer, though, because I really enjoyed your class. Thought you were great. I really liked poetry. I really liked learning all this stuff. I would like to continue learning poetry someday. Maybe next semester I'll retake it. And Professor Lillian's like, yeah, I would love that. That'd be great. You're a good student, but I understand where your priorities are now. And that's kind of that scene.
This scene is super awkwardly paced.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on? Who is this guy?
I was waiting for him to show up later or something to do with Professor Lillian. Maybe Professor Lillian comes into play another time.
There's just a lot of like moments where he's just staring at her and she's staring at him. And they seem like they have like a connection. Not like a romantic connection, but just like a personal connection. And it's just lingering there. And I was like,
it was like setting it up for him to be like a second Giles. Like,
yeah, I was like, who and why is she talking? And then it hit me. And I wrote down in my notes, oh my gosh, Buffy likes poetry. When did that happen? And there's only one other poet on this show. Yeah. Yep. Buffy likes poetry all of a sudden.
That's where that came from, I guess. That's a good pickup.
That's what I got from it.
I was just sitting there waiting for, like, trying to figure out, like, if this guy was evil, like, how he was going to figure into something.
Is she going to break the projector? Like,
yeah. But yeah, it was kind of a sad, Buffy, like, hey, I can't do this right now. I got to take care of my sister. And everyone, like, we get it.
Also, it's like, don't you have to fight, like, the demons of hell, glory? Like, there's so many reasons to drop out of school.
But speaking of all of that, we then go to the hospital, and Dr. Intern Ben is late for his job. And he's like, oh, man, I'm so sorry for being late. He's apologizing to the head doctor guy. He's like, oh, no, you don't need to apologize for being late because you're fired and you've been missing for 2 weeks. It's like, wait a minute. Nobody sent like a search party out for this guy.
Oh, it's Sunnydale. They were like, oh, he's just dead. It's the hospital. Yeah. A guard had his neck broken here recently.
When they said he was missing for 2 weeks, I was like, Jesus. And also,
I didn't even think of it that way. They don't even seem concerned that he was missing. You're right. Yeah. They're just like, oh, this guy must have. People not showing up for work for 2 weeks should automatically just be like, all right, announce dead.
Call the house, call something. Like, I'm sure that they did, but like, but also Dr. Intern Ben didn't like check a newspaper. Like, he's like concerned that he's going to be late for work, but he doesn't know what day it is. And he doesn't remember not going to work for 2 weeks. Like, buddy, you're already, you're gone.
I thought it was interesting that he like wants this job and that he's doing it. And like, I don't know.
Yeah. And then, he's like, no, I'm sorry. What if I told you that there's a really good excuse for me not being here for 2 weeks? And the doctor's like, oh, what you're going to tell me next? That the dog ate your homework? That your car broke down? Or there's like a demon living inside of your body that takes control every once in a while and you can't? I was like, no, okay. Like,
I know.
And Ben looks at him like, you're like, you figured it out.
What if he stabbed him like he stabbed Jinx? You know too much. That would have been awesome.
Oh, man. But yeah, Dr. Intern Ben's like, all right, well, you know what? I guess I'm fired. I'm going to go clean out my locker. So he goes to his locker and he's cleaning out his shit and he's upset and he's cussing at Glory. He's like, I can't believe that this happened. I hate you. I worked so hard for this and you're taking everything I love away from me, my job, all my friends and all this stuff. And then he goes, no, not right now. No, you can't be doing this right now. And then he morphs into Glory and Glory's like, I'm hungry. Yeah.
They're like, who's this hot woman that keeps walking out of his locker room?
Yeah. I'm assuming that it's not like a co-ed locker room either, because like people are getting changed in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder what we still don't know a lot about Dr. Intern Ben with not a lot of episodes left. And it's one of those things where I was wondering, does he think he can just like be a doctor?
Well, I mean, if Glory took control of his body for 2 weeks, like, what is he like? She is not obeying the calendar that they set.
In this scene, yeah, because we did talk about like how they were scheduling, like showing up to work and not. I thought in this scene that they were gonna have a lot of like back and forth. I thought we were gonna have one of those like Spider-Man, the Green Goblin talking to himself in the mirror type thing, the Gollum thing. I thought they were going to have a conversation with each other. And I was like, oh, this will be interesting because we'll like learn something about their dynamic because they know each other, but they're sharing a body.
Yeah.
I don't think they share a body separately, like in the other world that they were from.
Yeah. I mean, also that Spider-Man scene is fucking brilliant. Yeah. William Dafoe.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Willem.
Yes. But then we get the intro song, and when we come back, we got Glory doing a bubble bath. She is hanging out with the Jinxes. They're all blindfolded so they can't see her glory.
Question about the blindfold. Do you think it was her idea to have them blindfolded, or they volunteered to blindfold themselves?
I think they know to blindfold themselves. Like, probably the first couple times that she did this, she told them, and then it's just like a known thing now. But also, those blindfolds aren't holding anything. The Jinx's noses are so huge. Like, those blindfolds are lifted up. They can see everything.
Oh, yeah. And she's showing off some leg, some gams.
Oh, yeah. She's given a nice little recap of the last episode, basically, where she's like, so you brought me this vampire Spike, and he didn't know anything about the key, but we still think that somebody within Buffy's crew is the key. So I wonder who it is. I want you guys to give me all of the information that you saw when you went and stalked Buffy and all of her friends. And the Jinxes are like, oh, okay, cool. She also asks for a loofah that she uses on her foot for like half a second. Cleans nothing. She's got a mimosa.
She's got chocolates, mimosas.
Yeah.
She's living a dream.
Yeah, she's great. Glory rules, dude.
I love that her last line in this scene is her drinking a mimosa and then going, vitamins.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, it's especially after Adam, Glory is so much more fun and so cool. I don't think she's at Angelus level.
No, not at all.
She's awesome.
She's a nice palate cleanser.
Yeah. So yeah, she's like, we gotta continue to stalk people in Buffy's crew. We gotta figure out who is the key. So then we go to Dawn and Buffy. Dawn lied about something to Buffy about how she's been going to school, but she's actually not been going to school. Has she been going to school, or is she just like not doing well at school?
She's not going to school.
Okay. She's been skipping school, and Buffy's like, you said that you were going to school and that it was going great. And Dawn's like, well, it was going great when I did show up. And the principal is like, we're very disappointed in you, Dawn. And Buffy's like, please, we just went through a lot with my mom dying and everything. And the principal's like, yeah.
The principal's like, everybody's mom is dead in this school, this Sunnydale.
You think you're the first people whose moms have died?
We've had people attack Sunnydale High, and you come to school the next day.
We're still renovating from. Oh, man. But yeah, Dawn, then the principal was like, all right, well, you know what, Dawn, could you step outside for a second? I got to talk to your sister privately. And Dawn's like, oh, okay, sure. I'll go do that. And that's all we get from that scene. So we don't know what the principal says to Buffy until later on. Mm-hmm. And you're like, uh-oh, what's going to happen here? So then we go over to the magic box, and there's some old people perusing the store, and Anya is pissed that they're not buying anything.
Before you say we already spoiled what Anya's going through. But when I saw the older couple, I thought that this was going to play off of Anya before when she was talking to Xander about having a kid and stuff. And I thought she was going to be imagining, she's like, oh, that's going to be us one day. I thought that's where it was going to go. I thought it was going to be something about her and like coupling and getting older and stuff. Because that's
I was waiting for her.
Yeah,
I was waiting for her to turn around and be like, Xander, I can't wait until we're old and decrepit and hideous. And like the old people over here are like, hey.
Yeah. But where it went was so different.
Yes. Anya turns around and she's like, these motherfuckers are perusing and they're not buying anything. It's bullshit. It's un-American. And they're like, wait, what? Un-American? Like Xander and Willow are there. They're like, what are you talking about? She's like, it's very unpatriotic. I care about what America stands for. And Willow's like, democracy? And Anya's like, no, capitalism. The old people need to start buying something or they need to get a fucking move on. Whoa, dude.
She's not wrong about capitalism, though, over democracy. Oh, yeah. But
absolutely.
Yeah. But man. Yeah.
And
like Anya was like odd. Now she's like awkwardly unlike. Like she might go down. I'm afraid of what she might turn into.
She's alt-right, dude.
Yeah.
She's alt-right now. He's going to be listening to Ben Shapiro anymore.
She calls Giles a foreigner, like hard, with a hard F.
Yeah. Foreigner.
Yeah.
She's like, the only thing less American than this is the French. Xander's like, hey, Anya, let's be a little less prejudiced and be a bit more inclusive.
Yeah. She's going from like, oh my God, I'm an ex-demon. Why they hate demons? I was like, well, I'm American now, so I'm better than everybody. Like it is rough. Yeah,
I liked it at first. Like Giles was like, well, I guess you are American considering your second birth was here in America. And she's like, yeah, that's right, foreigner. And he's like, Jesus, you really are getting to become American. She starts chanting, build the wall.
Like, I wasn't loving Xander's new haircut either.
Me neither. Yeah, it's a little too short.
Yeah, it's got a weird thing going on in the front. And later I was like, oh, it's fine. And then he turns and you're like, what are they doing with it?
Yeah. So then Buffy shows up. She's got Dawn in tow. And the Scoobies, Xander and Willow are like, so how'd it go with the teachers? And Buffy's like, yeah, I'm officially dropped out of college. And Xander's like, well, guess what, Buffy? I fully support you in that decision to drop out of college. Welcome to the real world. That's where we all make the money. Buffy's like, well, I'm thinking about going back to college, like maybe next semester after we get everything sorted out. And Xander's like, I also support that decision. Whatever you choose to do, I support it. What a fucking creep, right? This guy.
Well, he definitely says it in a weirder way than possible.
Well, he says something about like, I support you over, like a bra or something.
I'm thinking bra when I'm thinking support. It's like, it's Xander's way of saying, hey, I got you. But in the Whedonist way of talking. It's funny when like other characters have it, like, because Tara has it later. Where she's like, was I being boss girly? Like, you know, like stuff that only like that you expect maybe Willow to say or you expect Buffy to say. But it's like, no. And then they threw it into Tara and like I was like, Tara doesn't talk like that.
Yeah. Tara doesn't talk like anything anymore, you know what I'm saying?
When we get to this, I have so many questions.
Yeah. So Buffy's like, yeah, you know what? I might go back to college. And he's like, all right, I got you. So then she's like, I'm going to go talk to Giles really quick privately. And Dawn, do your homework or whatever I'm talking to Giles.
Did you see Dawn pull up like her like little bag? It wasn't like a high schooler's backpack. It was just like a little, like kind of like your purse backpack kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, she doesn't have books in that. This is still like textbook era. This isn't tablet era. Yeah.
Remember when like having textbooks and like having textbook covers was like such a big deal? Mm-hmm. You're like, oh man, I got that stretchy kind. It's so God, cool.
If something happened to the cover of this book that will only be covered by another sheet of paper later. Like, yeah.
Oh man. So Buffy goes back to the training center to talk to Giles, and she's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, Giles. I'm not cut out for this. I'm not a mom. I'm just a sister. I'm 20 years old, dude. And Dawn, she needs an authority figure. So would you maybe want to be that person? And Giles is like, oh, geez, Buffy. Oh, I really am honored that you would think to ask me about to do that, but I'm not your daddy. I think that it's actually, you know, as old and male as I am, I'm not part of your family. And I think that you actually need to be this authority figure. And Buffy's like, no, but I don't want
to. Okay, so you have a older sister, right?
Yes, I do.
How would this have played at your age? Like if this had to happen, Like I was thinking of it that way. Like I have a younger brother.
I think if it was like
you
the
you were
situation
14.
that Buffy and Dawn
Yeah.
were.
Yeah.
If I was 14 and our parents had just died, I think I'd be a bit more forgiving of my sister of like, hey.
But would you want your
this is
sister
wild.
bossing you around and telling you like,
Well,
There's
after this, when Buffy starts acting like the authority figure, I'd be like, go fuck yourself, dude.
that's what I'm saying. Like there'd be a lot of pushback in any sibling relationship, especially the way we've seen them have sibling relationships when the parent is around. So
yeah,
it's
but,
always
like-
a tough dynamic, and it's really tougher when you're on a hellmouth and your sister's a slayer and you're a key. So like there's a whole nother layer to it here.
it's just a different kind of authoritativeness too, because Joyce was never as harsh as Buffy is in this episode.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, where are you coming from? Like,
Buffy overcorrects, but she has a reason to overcorrect, which we find out. But before we find that out, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after Buffy and Giles talk, Buffy's like, all right, you know what? I need to do this. I need to figure this out. I need to be there for Dawn. I need to be the authority figure. And then she turns around. She's like, Giles, are you sure you don't want to do it? And he's like, no. And he just pushes Buffy.
Yo, this next scene, I was shocked how quickly the Scoobies and him walked away. Like, he was like, I'm not even going to be a part of it. There's not even another room where they walked. They just ran and walked around a corner.
Yeah. So Buffy and Giles come back from the training center and they see Dawn standing in the middle of Xander, Anya, and Willow are lying on the ground in a triangle, and Dawn is standing in the middle of them like, ha ha ha, and everyone's going, ha 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 ha, and Buffy comes out, head of steam. What the fuck is this? What are you fucking doing? I told you to do your homework. And Dawn's like, chill, dude. We were just, we're doing, like, we're kind of doing it.
We're conjuring demons through geometry, obviously.
That's exactly what I thought was happening. I was like, what spell are they doing to help Dawn complete her homework?
Yeah.
But Buffy's like, no, this is fucking fooling around. I told you to do your homework, and this is bullshit. You're disobeying me. And then Willow stands up, and Anya and Xander are like, we're out.
Xander and Giles dip. They literally go around the corner and don't say anything. It was so funny.
But Willow stands up to Buffy, and she's like, chill, dude. Like, we were doing geometry. Like, I've heard and learned that, like, some kids, it's better for them to learn in a visual sense. So we're doing this, like, visual learning situation where we're a triangle. And then, we made a couple of triangle puns, that said that Xander, you're so obtuse. And somebody said, oh, this is an acute triangle or something. And then, we started laughing. And that's when you walked in. And Buffy's like, yeah, that is when I walked in. And you shouldn't have been doing that. And it's bullshit. And I think that your methods of teaching are stupid. And Willow's like, chill, dude. Like,
yeah, like Giles just gave you like one thing, but she is carrying other baggage that we don't know
literally about. Before she went back to the training center, she asked Willow to help her, and Willow's like, I'm helping her, and she's like, not how I want you to help her.
At least Buffy starts to taper down a little bit in this conversation, because she was coming in at like an 11, and I was like, okay. And then Willow's like, hey, I care about school and educating and books and stuff, and I was like, okay. It would have been kind of, I think these scenes would have hit harder if you knew what Buffy was actually like worried about. But they save it for a later reveal. And then when you get that, you're like, okay. So it's like a retroactive feeling. Because right here I was like, Buffy, you're coming in way too hot. And then later I'm like, all right, I get it. But
yeah. I mean, Buffy also says the same thing a couple times where she's like, she doesn't need this right now or something like that. Or this isn't what Dawn needs. Or
it's like,
but she says it like 2 or 3 times in a row.
The last line, the last line before she walks off, she's like, I just have to take care of Dawn now. She's the only thing that matters, or something.
She says, somebody says, we should go to the multicultural fair. Willow's like, we're going to go. It'll be educational fun. We should take Dawn. It'll be fine. And then Buffy's like, no, we need to like get Dawn back in shape and go into school. And then Willow says something like, I mean, is it okay to still have a life? Buffy says, I don't need a life. I've got Dawn's life now, or something like that.
Yeah. And it's one of those interesting things where in this show, watching over Dawn was already a hassle. Like,
Yeah.
she's the key, and there's a powerful god after her.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are casually talking about doing homework.
Well, Dawn is also kind of like a loose cannon, too, where she like sneaks off and she doesn't understand the gravity of the situation at all.
She goes to school. Like even at school, it's like she's not being protected. Like,
yeah.
I think they need to leave Sunnydale. Like, honestly, if they know Glory's there, like, I don't know.
Glory's within like a 3-mile radius. They know where Glory lives.
Yeah.
Like they've been to her apartment.
Like, send Dawn to boarding school or something. Like, Giles, get your watchers to pull some strings.
Send her to Spain with the daddy-o.
Oh, no. Dad's a no-go. Which you find out later. Jeez, man.
Yeah. So yeah, Buffy's like, I'm going to take Dawn home because she needs to do her homework with less distractions. I was like, whew. All right.
Yeah. Less distractions, like whatever murderous demon's going to burst in their house.
At any point.
Yeah.
So then we go over to Glory, and Glory has a light bulb moment. She thinks she's figured out who the key is. It all makes so much sense. Jinxes, you all know what to do. We're going to we're going to keep an eye on the people. I'm going to go to who I think the key is. And the Jinxes are like, all right, break.
I love that they've gone from being the Dregs to the Jinxes.
Yeah, the Dregs dead. Now they're the Jinxes.
I love that band.
That actually is a pretty good band name.
Yeah, it is. I knew it wasn't Dawn, just the way they were talking. And I'm so happy this episode ended the way it did, because I couldn't do this anymore. I can't.
Yeah.
You can't keep doing it, you know?
Yeah. And we got a nice, 3 episodes left until the end. Like, this is going to play out. Yeah. Unless it plays out in one episode like Adam, and then we get...
It'll probably play out in 2 episodes, and then the last episode will be like a little recap set. Yeah, like one of those, they did the main thing, but there's teasing for the next season kind of stuff. Yeah.
Maybe a cliffhanger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway. So Glory and the Jinxes are off to find the key. Then we go over to Willow talking to Tara about the argument that she had with Buffy, and Willow is like, yeah, man, I mean, Buffy was being kind of hard on Dawn, and she was kind of yelling at me, and me and Buffy don't really argue like that, really, and it was weird. And Tara just like, well, she's going through a lot, and I don't know, you just kind of can't understand what she's going through. And Willow's like, I mean, yeah, but I just hate that everyone's invalidating my words because I haven't lost my mother. I hate that.
It was such an interesting idea and sentiment. Mm-hmm. Because it's oh, I can't do anything because I haven't experienced it, right? So you can kind of get that. But then it's to be man, if I lost my mom, I could join in on the conversation. What kind of weird jealousy? FOMO, she's having FOMO of not being able to be traumatized.
I mean, I'm kind of on Willow's side here about just because I haven't lost my mother doesn't mean that I can't say hey, you're being kind of an asshole right now.
Well, it's trying to give parents advice, but not having kids yourself.
Yeah.
It's you just can't. It's certain things that your advice might make sense, but you're coming from a whole different perspective. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's fine. I get where Willow's coming from, but it's also not her place to need to be able to have her opinion validated. Of all the people. Why does her opinion matter so much, she thinks? you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like because Buffy's asked her to help so many times previously, and even right before she went back to that training room, she was like, "Hey, will you help Dawn?"
Yeah, but like
And then
help
she
with
comes
homework,
out, she's
you
like,
know how to do homework is a lot different than help raise a 14-year-old motherless
"Yeah,
kid. So,
fair enough."
yeah.
But in the midst of Willow being like, "I mean, this is fucking bullshit. Like nobody is listening to like what I have to say." She kind of like rolls her eyes at Tara, and Tara's like, "You rolled your eyes at me. You're mad at me, aren't you?"
Well, Tara says something. It's not an eye roll. Tara says, it's before the other line, but she says something. She says something, and like she asks her a question, and it really like she's like, "Oh, I said something that pissed you off or something." It's not an eye roll.
Yeah.
It's literally she says something. I can't remember what it was. Oh no, I think it was that. It was her saying, "Oh, you don't understand." That's the thing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because Tara's like, "You don't understand." I feel like Willow kind of is like, everybody's fucking telling me that.
Yeah. I did like
so then-
I did like that Tara was like, "Hey, can you tell me like what I did wrong because you're upset, and if you don't, I might just keep saying the thing that made you upset." So I thought that was like a real cool, like, oh, this is a nice relationship conversation thing that a lot of people don't do.
Yeah,
most people, like 90%.
Most people just
don't
let
do
it bottle up and then you explode on your partner.
Exactly. And Tara's like, yeah, I don't want that to happen because you have super witch powers. I'm afraid of you. But Tara does have a great line in this scene where she says, well, I'm not an expert on it. I've only lost the one mom. And I was like, I was like, oh, Tara's got like little jokes. All right.
Yeah.
We'll never hear those again.
Just when they start to give her some character.
I was like, all right. She's got good relationship dynamics. She got a little one-liner. All right.
So then Willow is kind of like, I mean, it's just like I'm pissed because like it's like everyone's saying that my opinion isn't worth anything because I haven't lost my mom. And Tara's like, I mean, you're good at other things. Like just because you haven't lost, I don't know how they got to this point.
Well, what happens is she starts saying my opinion doesn't matter, and I feel like I'm just like a third wheel, and I'm just like out there, and like I'm lesser than everybody. Willow starts to go on to this like, oh, I'm nothing. All of a sudden, somehow this conversation with Buffy made her question her whole life because she wasn't able to parent Dawn, who's not real. Dawn, who opted to sleep over to their place so she could steal witchcraft stuff recently. But yeah, Willow just starts flailing like, oh my God, I feel like I'm useless now. And I was like, I thought that was a weird transition into, but then Tara starts to talk about her stuff.
Yeah, Tara starts to talk about how like, you're not useless. You're like becoming a really mega powerful witch. Like you're so powerful that it's starting to frighten me. And then Willow's like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Her exact quote is, it frightens me how powerful you're getting.
Yeah. And then Willow's like, wait, what is that supposed to mean? And Tara's like, no, I mean, I'm not. And Willow says something like, you're frightened by me? And Tara's like, well, no, I'm not saying that I'm frightened by you. I think it's impressive, but it's like, you're getting real fucking powerful, dude. Like, you're changing so fast, and I don't know where this is heading. And then Willow says something about like, no, you said frightened. I did take Psych 101. I know what a Freudian slip is. I mean, it was taught to me by an evil scientist hired by the government, but I did take it.
Yeah.
It's like, nice callback.
Nice Maggie Walsh reference. This is probably why people hate college students, because people that take Psych 101 leave Psych 101 thinking that they have figured out human psychology fully. Like, oh, that's a Freudian slip. I know what that means. Like,
yeah, the most common psychology term ever.
Yeah. And Willow, you are scary,
right?
You made a god disappear, teleport.
Dude, it's not even like scary how powerful she's getting. It's also scary how many times her spells have been fucked up too. Like,
yeah, like before they get to this, she's like, Tara, you've been practicing witchcraft longer than I have and all this stuff. I'm like, what are you doing, Willow? Like, you're like not even out of college and you're doing so much stuff.
Yeah. But then Tara goes on her little spiral about like, I think that you're changing so fast and I don't know where you're heading. And I'm starting to feel like maybe that this is just you experimenting. We're all in college and I'm not actually your girlfriend. And this is just like a fun little experiment for you. And Willow's like, sorry, I haven't picked up any lesbo street cred before you, but like, you're the first woman I've ever loved. I'm sorry that that's not enough for you. You've been out longer than I have. You've been doing witchcraft longer than I have. Like, it's intimidating, dude. And sorry that that's not good enough for you or whatever. And then she storms out and Tara's like, Willow, don't be like that.
I did not see this conversation going to that level.
Me
I did
neither.
not. And they go a little more subtle when they start talking about it at the beginning, and then it gets like more obvious. But I was like, wait, this is about Tara. I was like, wait, so Tara is really afraid that Willow's gonna leave her and like go back to being straight? Why? Like, I was like, what happened? I was like, what happened that made like the witchcraft thing? Sure. But she's like, this isn't about witchcraft. This is about you thinking I'm gonna leave you. And I'm like, what? When?
Dude, the leaps in this conversation. It starts with Willow being concerned about Buffy and Dawn, and then Willow not feeling heard because her mom hasn't died. And then it goes to Willow, you're getting too powerful as a witch, and I'm scared of you. And then it gets to, you're gonna leave me and going back to dating men. And I was like,
the leap to going back to dating men at the end, I was like, where's Tara even? And Tara's not like, that's not what I'm saying at all. She's like, yeah, I'm kind of thinking that. I'm like, but what? When? Like, give me a scene of her like looking at a guy or like talking to someone. Like, I don't know what Tara is basing that off of. And they were getting ready to go to the park.
Well, it's also like Tara can't really be like, this has happened to me before. Like, because it's all about college. Because she's talking about like, this is college experimentation. And last year when they met, they were freshmen. So it's not like it's happened to Tara a bunch.
Yeah. And like, I mean, I get that's a reference to a real life thing, like the college experimentation thing. But that seems like that would be part of an episode. It seemed like they tried to get 3 things in here, like witchcraft, not feeling well, like, and she drops the L bomb, feeling heard, and then like she drops the love bomb because they're throwing love around a lot now.
Oh yeah, and Tara did not say it back.
People would just be lobbing those things up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of love floating in the air.
They never get put down. They never get the alley-oop. It's never dunked. It's I love you, and then the person that they say it to is just like, uh-huh.
Yeah, has someone said I love you and someone said I love you back?
Yeah, I know. Not that I can recall.
Yeah.
Maybe Buffy to Joyce.
Yeah.
Or no, Buffy to Dawn. They did do that. Remember, like, I think it was last episode where Buffy's like, I love you, before she went on that spirit journey thing. Mm-hmm. And Dawn was like, I love you too. And then Buffy goes, I really love you.
Yeah.
Dawn was like, you're getting weird.
That's when Buffy was telling Giles she loved him and everything.
Yeah. So yeah, Willow storms out. She's all mad. Trouble in paradise.
Bored at home? Head over to Chumba Casino and join some serious social casino fun. With hundreds of games at your fingertips, no purchase necessary. You can play anytime, anywhere. There's a special welcome bonus waiting for you when you sign up. Play for fun, play for free, and you could even redeem some great prizes. Visit ChumbaCasino.com and get ready to reel in the fun. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Etsy.
Oh.
Hear that?
Okay. Thank you.
Etsy knows these aren't the sounds of holiday gifting. Well, not the ones you're hoping for. You want squeals of delight. Happy tears.
How did you?
And spontaneously written songs of joy.
I am so happy. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, the song needs a bit of work, but anyway, to get those reactions, make sure everyone on your list feels heard with handmade, handpicked, and designed gifts from small shops on Etsy. Gifts like personalized jewelry, custom artwork, cozy style items, vintage pieces, and home decor to celebrate all of your favorite people and their specific kind of special. For original gifts that say, I get you, Etsy has it.
So then we go to Buffy's house, and the Jinxes are outside, and they're kind of stalking and see what's going on in Buffy's life. And Buffy's talking to Dawn about how they're going to divvy up chores and how they're going to do it, and they're going to start a chart, and there's going to be check marks for how the chores are going to happen, or do you want gold stars? What do you want, Dawn? And Dawn's like, I don't want to fucking do any of that shit. Like, dude, the cat's away. Let the mice play, you know what I'm saying?
She's like, yeah, chores. That'll get me back on track.
And Buffy's like, no, you gotta do it. And Dawn's like, I don't care about any of this, dude. Like, I'm not real. I'm a key. Why do I need to go to school? Why do I need to do chores? Like, none of this is real. I'm not real. And then this is some of the worst acting I've seen Sarah Michelle Gellar do, where she slams something down and she goes, damn it, Dawn, this is serious. I was like, ooh.
Is she trying
Can we get another read on that?
Is she trying to pretend to be Joyce doing this? Like, is she trying to pretend to be like the mom trying to be over disciplined? Like, because my note says Buffy's playing mom.
Yeah, but when she said, damn it, Dawn, this is serious, I was like, that's such a bad line read of that. That was so terrible.
Damn it, Dawn, this is serious. I love she like, you are real. And Dawn just rolls her eyes like, not real.
Like, yeah, you can say it. Legitimately, though, I'm not.
I did like that she said, oh, the monks put like education into me up to like 9th grade. Like, let's
put K through 8.
Yeah.
Why can't they put 9th in there?
I love that. Like, yeah, what is the level of this thing?
Yeah. But then Buffy's like, you have to do your school. You have to do this stuff. You need discipline because otherwise they're going to take you away. And Dawn's like, oh, now I realize the gravity of the situation. Who's going to take me away? Where are they going to take me? And Buffy's like, I don't know. But if you want me to be your legal guardian, this is your only option. And you got to fucking shape up because otherwise they're going to take you away. And they're not taking you to Dad. I'll tell you that much because Dad is MIA.
I love that Dawn's reaction to that would be like, it's not like, oh shit, and just look down at her homework. It was, wait, where would I go exactly?
Yeah.
Is it someplace nicer? And then Buffy's like, Dad, maybe foster care. It's like, Dad, maybe?
Yeah.
Isn't the dad the legal guardian at this point?
Dude, the dad is more incommunicado than Riley at this point. Like,
so they don't, I guess the dad doesn't share custody, never shared custody with Joyce. I guess Joyce got full custody of the children.
I guess so, yeah.
I don't know what happens in cases of full custody. Maybe someone on Discord knows, but I don't know what happens if that full custody parent passes away. Is it then become an issue with the state, or does that default back to the other custody claim, the biological parent?
I don't know. Or does Giles look over the paperwork, fudge some numbers?
I mean, we know that the Watchers have connections in politics, like
bureaucracy and all that shit.
Yeah, pull some strings.
Right.
And we have to assume that Buffy told Giles this in the beginning of that scene off before we like jumped into that scene in the back room. Like that's what he was responding to, basically.
Yeah.
And if he heard that and he was still like, nah, it's up to you to still be a disciplinary. Like that's kind of, I get it, but it's like maybe lend some hand. Like Giles seems like
he could still be like, I'm down to help, but I'm not her legal guardian.
Yeah. He talks about like you're her family. She needs you. Like that's fine, but you could also lend a hand considering like you're her watcher. Like, your job was to take care of a teenage girl with superpowers. Yep. Like, you've been training your whole life to help. Like, I don't know. It just felt like a little dick move on him to be like, that's not my problem.
That's on you.
Yeah. Also, I haven't done any research to figure out what the key opens, what the key is, or how to destroy Glory. So I've just, like, we have no more information. But my story's doing great.
Yeah, I'm making money hand over fist enough so that like Anya's making money over hand over fist now. She's good at investing. Maybe we should all listen to her.
Well, she's a capitalist.
Yeah. So after this scene, we go to the multicultural fair, which looks so bad.
It's like a bunch of white people and then some Asians running around with the dragon.
Yeah, and then just balloons everywhere. There's no order to any of this. Like, it's just a park and there's balloons and there's a guy with a dragon.
There's not even like those booths and stands of food and stuff. Which I get it. It's a TV show. You're not gonna build a whole fair for like.
I know. It looked pretty sad though.
I was happy to see outside and people because I don't feel like we've seen that in a while.
Yeah, it was weird. It was really weird. It looked like it was shot with different film or something.
They're like, oh man, we don't shoot in sunlight in daytime much.
Yeah. But Tara's there alone and she's sitting on a bench. She's looking sad. We got a little sadness montage going.
I love that she went and just sat on a bench.
Right. So she's sitting on the bench alone and she's sad. Montage over to Giles and Anya at the magic box. And they're doing something. And then it pans over to Willow, who's sitting on like a beanbag, and she's sad.
That's the beanbag that the whole group went to when they walked away from Buffy and Dawn. That's the same corner. So there's like nothing over there.
This beanbag looks really comfy over here. Mm-hmm. So then we go back to Tara being sad at the fair, and it's a close-up of her face, and it kind of pans down to her hand. And then another hand comes in and joins her hand, and you're like, oh, that's sweet. Willow decided to get up, let bygones be bygones, water under the bridge. Psych, it's Glory. And I was like, fuck yeah.
Oh man, Tara's free now. She's I think Willow left her, so she's free to hook up with Glory.
No, she didn't leave her. They're in a little bit of a tiff.
Tara should have played the angle. She should have played that angle.
Yeah. Damn, Glory.
Damn, looking good. Oh, don't worry. You're in a bright red dress, sitting here holding my hand. No one's going to look at us.
Yep.
Everyone just walks
2001.
By. Everybody just walks by like, la, 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 multicultural, la, la, la.
So that's the big reveal before commercial break. And then we come back from commercial. Giles is dealing with somebody trying to return some kind of like lizard feet or something. I don't know. Willow's looking sad and she goes up to Giles. And Giles is like, you all right? Willow's like, yeah, I'm fine. And Giles is like, no, you're not. Fucking talk to me. What's going on? And then Willow's like, me and Tara had a fight. And then Giles is like, well, the best part about that fight is it's over. And Willow's like, it's over. Giles is like, the fight is over, idiot. It's not fucking over your relationship, you dunces. Anyway,
he's like, this is why I don't want to be a parent to Dawn. I'm not dealing with these emotional breakdowns.
And then as Giles is like doling out his advice, he walks over to a door to the back room of the magic box, opens it. A Jinx pops out. He slams the door on the Jinx without even looking. I was like, badass, dude.
What Giles has come so far. Like,
yeah.
From the guy that was getting knocked out to like being this smart. Like, we've seen these guys beat people up. We've seen them beat him up recently.
Yeah. They beat up the Knights of Byzantium. They were going toe to toe. They didn't beat him up. Yeah. They were holding their own.
He was getting worked by one of those Jinx's dregs minions.
So without even looking, he slams the door on this Jinx, and then he just grabs him, throws him down on a chair, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And who are you? And Anya's like, I know who that is. That's one of the fucking things that works for Glory.
Why
and Giles is like,
why did Anya know, but Giles didn't? Because didn't Giles just fight him?
They just were at the apartment building where they were getting fought by those guys.
Yeah.
But Giles is like, all right, well, I'm going to question him. And the Jinx is like, I'm not going to tell you anything. I would never speak a word against Glorificus. You'll never get a word out of me. And Giles just goes, excuse me, girls, why don't you, we're going to tie this guy up. Both of you at the same time turn around, get some twine from behind the desk. And they're like, you got it, boss. They turn around and then you just hear this loud crack. And the Jinx goes, oh, okay, I'll tell you everything.
I was like, when did Giles become, like, he snapped into Ripper mode quick.
Dude, he was like a James Bond villain in that moment. I was like, holy shit, what did he do? I wish we would have saw what he did.
Yeah. Like, show the Jinx's arm, like, just dangling or something.
But after the Jinx screams, like, Anya and Willow turn around. They're like, whoa, what? We got the twine. Like, what happened? Why is he talking now? And Giles like, don't worry about that. And then Jinx is like, all right, we think we know who the key is and we're going after her. And they're all like, oh shit. He knows who the key is. Glory knows who the key is. And they're like, yeah, we fucking know who the key is. Obviously it was the witch. And Willow's like, the what? Wait, what? The witch? Oh, fuck, he means Tara. And then the Jinx is like, yeah, real easy to figure out. She's the newest part of your crew. Everybody protects her. We are going to fuck with her. She's the key. And then Willow's like, no, I gotta go. Then we go back to Glory with Tara. And Glory.
I do think it tracks that they would think it's Tara, minus her being a witch. Because they just captured a vampire, now they're going after a witch. I could see them thinking it's her because she's newer than thinking that it's Dawn, because everybody's memory, even Glory's, I guess, thinks Dawn's been around forever.
Yeah.
So they think the key is new, but if it's Dawn who's been here forever, it can't be her.
Yeah.
But that's amazing monk powers. Amazing monk powers that you can put this into a god's head.
If they incepted Glory, that's great magical power, dude.
Yeah.
So we go back to the cultural fair with Glory holding Tara's hand, and Glory does a little bit of Giles nonsense with Tara. She's holding on to Tara's hand, and she just squeezes so hard, and you hear all these cracks. And then Tara's like, ha! And Glory's like, if you fucking make a sound, I will kill everyone here. And Tara's like, oh, fuck.
I think I'm screaming, and while she's killing people, I'm running.
Yeah.
Not really, but I think my move here is, we'll talk about it when we get to it, but yeah, I have a different move I would use.
So Glory's looking around. She's like, I'll kill all these people. See that guy over there? I'll kill him. See that guy with the dragon? I'll kill him too. And you know that you can't do anything to stop me because I am way more powerful than everybody in this fucking cultural fair. All right? So guess what? I know you're the key. And then grabs Tara's hand even harder, and Tara's hand just starts bleeding.
What is that? The way that blood is coming out of her hand, like, she should not be able to use her hand in the next scenes that we see. Because it is like thick blood just coming out of her hands.
And it can't be from Glory's fingernails either, because it's like from the palm of her hand.
Yeah, it's like burst open. Like, to the point where I think Tara would scream.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I don't care how like ballsy Tara's being, but like,
I mean, it's no way Giles did something worse to the drag that made him talk.
Yeah. But Gloria's like, yeah, I know you're the fucking key, dude, and there's nothing you can do. So why don't you come with me, and we're going to do some crazy evil demon magic. But before I do that, I'm going to lick this blood from your hand. And then she licks the blood from the hand, and she goes, you're not the key. God damn it. I'm tired of people lying to me. You lied to me. And Tara's like, I didn't fucking. And Glory's like, shut the fuck up, you're a liar.
Like, Tara in this scene has full-on stutter where she can't talk. And you can see, like, she's doing the, like, stutterness. But she never lied to Glory. Glory, you came up with this plan yourself.
Yeah, but Glory's got some screws loose, you know?
Yeah, yep.
So Glory's like, well, if you're not the key, tell me who the key is. And if you don't tell me who the key is, I'm going to torture you. And Tara's like, And I was like, yo, is Tara going to sell out Dawn and Spike didn't?
That would have been kind of cool. I think, I don't understand in these situations when we watch them in movies, and we watch them a lot in Angel and Buffy, where people are being tortured and then they just give up the exact information. The person that is torturing you does not know the information. Especially when you've been doing that thing where you've been tortured and you're holding out for a long time, and then you're like, okay, I'll tell you. You've had so long to come up with another thing. Like, just lie and be like, okay.
I mean, at least Spike said it was Bob Barker. Yeah.
like come up with like a little more believable. Like, okay, who can I say it is that if they go after this person, we can get there in time with Buffy and try to stop something? You know, like, just say someone else. Like, I don't know.
The key was Joyce, and she's dead.
Yeah, can the person die and just go into the ground? Like, can Dawn die? I have no idea. I still don't know what the key is, and I don't, you know, so. Yeah, but that's not even a bad one.
Yeah. Gotta dig her up.
Just say some random name.
Yeah, Scott Hope.
be like Warren, the robot maker.
No, fucking Parker.
Yeah.
Somebody that you don't like.
Professor Lillian, the poetry. He's been around forever. He's ancient. It's no like.
But he's new to our group. Buffy has never talked to him before this semester. That's how you know he's the key, right?
Buffy's
Glory's
meeting.
Like, it does kind of make sense.
I would be like, Buffy's meeting with the key right now. I would just say something like that. Like, just anything, man.
Yeah. Buffy's meeting with the key right now. Where? At the mall.
Yeah, like something. Maybe Glory goes, oh, you're coming with me? It's like, fine, but at least you're buying some time, you know?
Yeah. But, so then Willow shows up to the fair, and she's, Tara, where are you? Terrible ADR going on here. Real bad ADR. And
well, they're outside, so, yeah.
Yeah, she eventually sees Tara from afar, and there's a bunch of people, you know, passing in front, so her view is obscured. And then this is when Glory's like, you know what? Fuck all this. You're not going to tell me anything? I'm a little hungry. I'm going to fucking eat your mind. She jams her fucking fingers into Tara's head and melts Tara's mind just before Willow gets there. I think Willow was like trying to do a spell or something as she was walking towards her.
She was trying to do a spell when she was walking. I think it was like a spell so that she could find out where she was. And then we had that, it's a Chinese dragon, right? Yeah. Like the Chinese dragon being like pulled in front of her. And she's like, I can't get past this piece of paper. I can't duck under it or rip through it. I don't love Tara enough to do that. To ruin this fair. And Glory, before she puts her fingers deep inside the brain, she just goes on to describe what it's like, where you can feel stuff and like you know it's there and you can't grasp reality. Like, it's a very detailed description of going insane, and I think this is how she feels too all the time when she's going crazy.
When she's hungry or whatever?
Yeah. So yeah, her description of it's like, this seems like a problem. Seems like something you don't want. I'd be like, is there a way to reverse this?
Yeah. There has to be. Dude, if this is a constant for the rest of the show,
I think it's going to be that classic, they kill Glory and then everybody.
Yeah.
You'll see the whole ward like, what? Where am I?
You'll see like all their spirits like shoot out from Glory and then land back into the people's body.
Yeah.
Except for the ones that died.
Yeah. If that happens, I'm not gonna like it. It'll be too convenient because she's feeding on it. It's not like she's just like that character from Mortal Kombat that just collects souls, for fun.
Yeah.
She's like should be eating it. But yeah.
What if we see Glory go to the bathroom, poops out somebody? That's how it happens. She farts, a little bit of Tara comes back.
Do you think she'll be at a point where like she's almost defeated and she's like, you don't want to kill me because then I can help bring Tara's mind back?
Never get their psyches back.
Tara, at least Tara. They only care about Tara at this point because the other crazy people they have not cared about.
Yeah, that's true. That would be a good play by Glory.
Dr. Intern Ben has to do something too. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
This is going to be interesting.
Maybe he'll be able to like...
He can't though.
Like bring him back because he's a healer?
He has not healed. He does not heal any of those people in the hospital.
He gives them pills.
He gives them pills. Hey, Mr. Johnson, it's time for your pills. He's like, yeah, your demon inside of you made this happen. So, yeah.
But, Willow gets to Tara too late. Did Glory disappear in that time?
Yeah, like, she's out of there. To the point where it's like, I think Willow saw her do it, and then she's gone.
Yeah.
I don't know why Glory decides to do a disappearing act at this point. Just grab Willow and be like, who's the key? Brain suck.
Yeah.
Who's the key? Brain suck. I'm happy that Glory's backing her. Like, I'm just going to go through that whole crew. It's only 6 of them.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you should have been doing the whole time, dude. Like, why waste your time on the snake? Well, now we got the snake or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, she figured out it had something to do with Buffy, but like, there's so few of them. They're all just regular humans. You already nixed Spike. He's a vampire. He's not the key. You just did it with Tara. Willow just walked up to you. Fucking grab her, dude.
Yeah, you should be pissed off at her anyway. Freaking witches teleported you. My prediction of that like reptile guy being the one to spill it did not come true.
That was an interesting one.
I do think he recognized her as the key, though. He definitely recognized her as something.
Yeah, he gave her a knowing glance.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're at the hospital. Tara's gone crazy. She's also got a broken hand. All the Scoobs are at the hospital. She's got a big old cast on her hand, dude.
She does. I forgot they put that cast on. Yeah, like, I mean, everything has to be broken in her hand if it bled like that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So the Scoobs are all there. The doctor shows up and he's like, yeah, my diagnosis, she's definitely gone crazy. She's
run-of-the-mill Sunnydale craziness.
And then Willow's like, can we take her home now? And the doctor's like, well, it's standard procedure. She's got to stay in the psych ward for a night. And Willow's like, no, don't make her do it. And then he's like, we gotta do it, dude.
If she survives the night, then you can take her home. That's how it works. It's a 50% survival rate in the hospital.
It's like worse than one of the Watcher tests. Worse than the Kralik test.
They poured Glory in that hospital. We've had like a security guard. The
security guard got his yeah. Oh my god.
The murder hospital. What do they think happened in the morgue?
Right?
When a body just up and disappeared.
Yeah.
Oh man, this hospital. Yeah.
So Buffy then shows up and she's hugging Willow. She's like, I'm sorry that I wasn't there. I couldn't do anything. I was dealing with my own shit. But I'm here now. I'm here with you. I dropped Dawn off with Spike. And I was like, what? Is he back?
She's done it before.
She has.
She's done it before.
But she's like, I'm here for you, Will. And then we go to Spike walking with Dawn through like a bunch of caves.
Buffy looks over at Xander when she's like, I dropped off with Spike. You didn't let him drop off flowers at my door.
Yeah. In your face, Xander.
Little inside Discord discussion reference.
Yeah. But Spike's walking with Dawn through these like caves. Like I think these are the same caves where like Adam was living, I think. Looks like it anyway.
It's like, should I just leave Sunnydale? No, I'll just hang out with the vampire that's in love with my sister in a cave. This is better. Can I do my homework in here?
You got your flashlight? You got some extra batteries? Yep. Well, there's way less distractions in the cave for sure.
Except for you're in a cave in Sunnydale. What? How many demons are giving birth down there? Like,
where's that dinosaur demon they had to steal the egg from like 2 episodes ago or whatever?
I love they have sewers and the cave system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Spike is trying his best to comfort Dawn. He's like, don't worry, little. He doesn't call her a little bit in this one. He calls her something else, but he's like, hey, relax. We'll be safe down here in the caves. And Dawn's like, dude, shit's getting so fucked up, man. Like, I'm afraid. And Spike's like, don't be afraid. Like, your sister will handle it. And she's like, no, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of Glory. I'm more afraid of myself at this point. And Spike's like, what? Why? She's like, dude, everywhere I go, there's pain and suffering and death. My mom died. Tara's gone crazy. This Glory lady is looking for me. I am the key. I am a lightning rod for pain and suffering. Like, this is all my fault because I'm not real. Everybody's looking for me. And I don't even know if I'm good. I don't know if I'm good. I don't know if I'm evil. And I don't know what this is. And Spike goes, well, I'm evil and I'm doing all right.
Yeah. I'm surprised. I like Dawn being like, all this is because of me and feeling like everybody around her's in trouble. But I don't really love the am I evil or am I good thing. Because I thought we already settled that the last time she had this crisis.
Yeah, when she was talking to Glory, like, she was like, am I evil? Is the key evil? And Glory's like, oh yeah, it's evil. Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't need to be evil, depending on who's using it. It's like, oh, okay.
At that point, I would go like, yeah, I'm taking the word of the one person that knows what the key is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you can't get more definitive answer than her coming from the source. No one else knows what this key is.
Yeah, I mean, it's like being like, oh, a sword is evil. It's like, well, a sword's evil in the hands of an evil person.
Yeah.
But,
exactly.
Spike's like, don't worry, lady. You're not evil. I know evil. And I'm looking at you and you're not evil. And he's like, oh, thanks, Spike.
You know I have a crush on you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I did want to mention that Spike is still bruised from his last battle with Glory.
Yeah.
Dude is not.
Which we don't know how long ago that was. But his face is fucked up, dude.
It had to be... Yeah, I don't know how long. Because I don't know how long she's been skipping school.
I did like that Dawn mentions, like, Dawn says something about, like, I don't want, like, Glory to come and, like, fuck up my sister or fuck up anybody else. And Spike's like, she's not going to do that. And Dawn is like, dude, look at you. Like, you're and Spike's like, oh, don't worry about me. I'm fine. It's like, dude, your face is fucked up.
I love Buffy, like, oh, Dawn's safe. She's with Spike, the one guy who we know can't handle Glory. None of them can. I don't know why they're just like, I don't know how they go about their regular day in Sunnydale knowing that she's out there.
I know.
How are you like, I'm just going to fix a window. Oh, let's go get some coffee or pizza. Like, no. Like, this lady is just around.
Dude. I'd be cowering, casting every spell known to man to protect me.
Like, there'd be a bubble force field while you're walking around, like Incredibles or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to mention that Anya says something's like communism in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
And she also does Willow's like, I don't know if I can sleep without Tara. You know, Anya goes, you could sleep with me. Oh, I didn't mean for that to sound as lesbian as it did. It's like, Anya's just, she's back. Yeah. She's back 100%, I don't know dude.
What are they doing with her, dude? Like, what are they doing with her?
I thought she had turned a corner, but no.
Yeah, after like her, I don't know how to feel, tell me how to feel, like that seemed like an emotional break. Maybe she could learn some stuff, but she's just I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing, man. That's all I can say.
I know. They're like, we have too many women to write for. Let's mute Tara and let's turn Anya into
a. So we go back to the hospital and they're taking Tara away to the psych ward. And Willow's like, oh no, God, she's not going to last a minute in there. She's concerned. She's sad. And then eventually she's like, you know what? I'm going to go fuck up Glory. I know what to do. I'm going to go fuck up Glory. And Buffy's like, that is a bad idea, dude. And Willow's like, why? And Buffy's like, look, dude, this isn't good. We don't have a plan. I went to fight Glory. I got fucked up. You wouldn't last 5 minutes with Glory. And I was like, oh, boom roasted a little bit, but
I think you guys would be dead if it wasn't for Willow.
Yeah. So Buffy's like, dude, this is not what you're doing. You're not doing this. And Willow's like, yo, this isn't your decision to make, all right? I got a bone to pick with this lady, and you can't tell me what the fuck to do. And then Buffy's like, look, dude, let's just wait. Let's just wait until we have a plan. Let's wait until we have a chance. And when she said that, I was like, how do you know when you're going to have a chance?
That was my moment, too. I was like, what is their plan to stop Glory, to defeat Glory? They still don't know what the key is actually for. Like, I feel like they haven't done any forward momentum in seeking out. Like, when she's like, I don't know if I want to be a slayer. And, like, Giles is like, well, you should get back to patrolling after her mom died. I'm like, how about we focus on the major villain and not the, like, vampires that will just constantly be out there?
Like, that'll just accidentally walk into a stake on their own accord.
Like, I was like,
they're idiots.
Like, we had the Watchers fly in, and all they did was say, hey, she's not a demon, she's a god. Okay, cool. Any more information?
Have you had any follow-up phone calls with the Watchers?
Yeah.
Like, you're officially a part of that again, right?
Shouldn't we know what the key opens at this point? Shouldn't we know, like, it's going to be one of those things where we figure out, like, Glory's weakness, like, the last episode before they use it. Like, they haven't put up any defenses. They're like, oh, here's a warning. If Glory shows up, something will happen, and she'll still kill us. They have no defenses.
Yeah.
Like, the only reason they're alive is because Glory decided to take 2 weeks off and just try to do, like, spy work. Then,
I mean, I just went back to, like, so when Buffy says, like, let's wait until we have a chance, I just went back to that episode where all of the Scoobies and Spike were fighting Glory and she still beat the shit out of them. It's like, so what's your plan after this? They all had weapons. They all were like teaming up. Willow and Tara were doing witchcraft together. Like, I just don't know what Buffy is like.
Glory is not a vampire, and she knows where Buffy lives. She has been inside your house.
Yeah.
She can come inside your house whenever she wants.
She doesn't need an invite.
How do you feel safe? I don't care if you have a warning bell either. You don't have a trap door to go through. You don't have a safe room. Like,
yeah.
I just don't get how they're just like going through day to day. And I know it's a show, but it's just like, I want something.
I mean, maybe they are waiting for like a phone call from the Watchers or something to be like, hey, we figured out something. But I mean, it's been episodes before they haven't found anything out.
I don't even think they're looking for it. That's my thing. Like, if I had like Giles being like, okay, we're still researching and we got a new book coming in or something. Just that's all I need. Just like a little, like, okay, this is happening. Granted, the mom passed away. Yes. So that definitely took up some stuff. But right after that, he's like, let's go back on patrol. Let's go out let's go have a vision quest. And we'll just leave Dawn. We'll just leave her with like Xander. Like, what are you talking about? Glory could have killed all of them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But anyway, so Willow's like, all right, you know what? You're right, Buffy, but I just need to have some alone time right now. Will you leave me alone for a little bit? And everyone's like, yeah, sure. And then Willow just walks out.
It's like, we weren't even planning on staying with you, so yeah.
So Willow walks out, and then the next scene is just her sprinting to the magic box, and I loved it.
She goes to the no book section.
Yeah, but she climbs the ladder to the mega powerful spell stuff, and she just starts ransacking it. She's just throwing everything on the ground until she finds the book that she wants, which is titled Darkest Magic. Oh, I love that little touch.
These things are out in the open, and it doesn't even look like she had to break into the magic shop. It looked like it was open.
No.
But
Yeah,
Giles
she
is at the
just went
hospital,
in.
right?
Yeah, he is, and Anya's at the hospital too.
So they get back to the
I mean,
magic shop, and they're like, someone ransacked those books. Can we tell which
Yeah.
one was taken because we have them cataloged? They had like knives up there. Like, it is. There's potions.
There's potions and knives. Willow, doesn't she like take like a mini axe to open this book or something? She
it's got a
cracks it
lock
open with
on
something.
it. It's amazing. It's got like a lock on it. She cracks it open, and then it just flaps open, and the wind is blowing through the pages.
Yeah. It's just pages start turning, and it's like all this wind from the power of the darkest magic book. I fucking love that though.
Dude,
when it said darkest magic, I was
Yeah.
like, that's hilarious, dude.
There's something in the Angel episode that we're gonna do about like books and stuff that I really want to talk about. Yeah.
Patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy, where we're doing Boys Watching Angel and Boys Watching Movies.
Yep. It seems like they should have just been figuring out new witchcraft spells against Glory this whole time, because witchcraft is super powered, man.
Dude, it's the MVP. It's absolute, dude. You've said it a billion times, but definitely put all of your efforts into learning witchcraft, even if you are the Slayer.
Yes,
like
absolutely.
learn a little bit of stuff.
Yeah, fuck school. If it took her in a year with her Slayer powers, she should be able to at least get to like half of, like maybe not half, maybe like even a quarter of Willow's power, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say like half of Terra would still be useful.
Enough to like move some stuff with your mind. Enough to do a little force. She has done spells, which we've seen. We've definitely seen her do spells. So anybody can do a spell. Like, they're not that hard to do.
We saw Xander do a spell.
By accident.
He's an idiot.
He literally just read a book instead of a fire. Which again, I'll bring up
out loud.
Which is something I'll bring up in the Angel episode. Do not read books out loud.
Mm-hmm.
That is the thing you don't do.
Yeah.
Everyone should know that in this world. Yeah.
Unreal. But so Willow cracked open this darkest magic. She's gonna fucking do some crazy ass spell shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go over to Glory at her apartment. She's chatting to the Jinxes, and she's like, "Man, I'm fucking buzzed from drinking that lady's brain. Holy shit!"
That witch was wild.
Yeah, she had some shit going on in there. Let me tell you that.
But vitamins.
That was fun. I liked melting her mind. I think I should do that to the rest of Buffy's friends. I'm like, yeah, you said that like half a season ago. Do it.
That was plan number 1.
And as she's saying this to the Jinxes, her apartment starts shaking, and she's like, "Oh, what's going on here? What's going on?" We needed Giles to be there to be like, it's Southern California. Earthquakes do happen. You said to Buffy that one.
Yeah, like Buffy's like, I think something weird's happening. Like, no, we're just on a hellmouth and a fault line.
It's called Southern California. We do have earthquakes.
Buffy, I don't know why you always get so freaked out that something supernatural's happening.
But Glory's like, "What's going on? Why is my apartment shaking?" And then the doors burst open, and Willow looks freaky as fuck. She's floating. She's got a scary... earlier in the episode, she puts on this coat. And I'll talk about this on the report/corner. Again, what's the weather like around this place?
I thought about that too.
So she shows up. She's floating. She's scary. She's just speaking in tongues. Her eyes are black. and she does a spell to like freeze Glory in molasses or something. And Glory's like, whoa, what the fuck's going on here? I haven't been bested in a little bit with this molasses thing. This is weird. And then Willow ups it, and she fucking Palpatine force lightnings Glory too. And Glory looks like she's going through some pain a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is something new.
She's like, I owe you pain.
Yeah. I was like, dude,
where
did this, Willow?
The Jinxes bounce, dude.
Yeah, dude, they saw that shit happening. They're like, we out.
Glorifius, you're on your own.
Yeah. Call us when you are in a bubble bath again and you want a mimosa.
I'll get my see-through blindfold.
But yeah, so Willow starts shooting lightning at Glory, and I was like, oh, fuck yeah. It's on, dude.
Yeah.
I like this. So then we go back to the caves, and Buffy's chatting with Dawn, and Buffy's comforting Dawn. She's like, hey, don't worry about anything. Tara's, she went crazy, and it is kind of your fault, but like, don't worry about it. Willow, calm down. I talked to her about it. She was going off the deep end a little bit about how she wanted to fight Glory, but I calmed her down. I explained to her that it was a bad idea. And Spike overhears this. He's like, oh, you sure about that? You sure about that? And Buffy's like, yeah. I talked her out of it.
Because Spike did Psych 301. So he has better grasp of human psychology.
So he's like, I don't know if that worked. And Buffy's like, what are you talking about? I convinced her. I explained to her. And Spike's like, her loved one got mind melted. And you think that she's not going to go after Glory because you explained to her that it was a bad idea? And Buffy's like, yeah. And Spike's like, all right, dude, all I'm saying is if you tried that shit with me, I wouldn't listen to you, and I would totally go after Glory. But, you know, that's just me. If I was in Willow's shoes, I'd be going after Glory. I don't care how much quote-unquote convincing you did of me. And then Buffy is like, oh, fuck, you're right.
Well, Spike does not take this moment not to, like, plant some seeds, where he's like, I'd do it for the right person. Someone I loved. And he looks at his he like looks at his feet and like kicks his sand.
Starts kicking.
I do it for the right person. Wink, wink. You, someone I loved. You see these bruises on my face? These are bruises.
It was really
of love.
nice. It was really nice last episode when you kissed me.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
Yeah, I still miss my my Buffy bot, but you know it's fine.
Remember, I was in the same position and I didn't give up like Dawn because I know it would hurt you. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. Wait. You want to read some of my poetry? I heard you like that.
I heard through the grapevine that you like poetry. Well, guess Hoodly Who is a poet. I think you remember from when I told you my entire life story. William the Bloody Bad Poet.
William, this is bloody good poetry. I do love that Dawn's like, yeah, Buffy, if I was in trouble, you'd save me. And it's like,
yeah.
she just
you
like
do
put
it
that
for me.
And Buffy's like, huh.
Yep. He gets up. She's like, oh shit, I gotta go. I gotta go.
Good thing I don't drive and these caves are close to where I need to go.
Dude.
I just picture her sprinting across town.
Yeah.
She is the Tom Cruise of Sunnydale. Just running.
I think I saw a stat that's like in movies where Tom Cruise runs, they perform 71% better at the box office. It was something crazy.
Yeah, but like the ones that he runs are big blockbuster Mission Impossible movies. So that like, it's like movies where Vin Diesel drives a car rank high. Like what?
I don't know. He was in Saving Private Ryan. That did pretty good at the box office.
Yeah. But that's like his first movie ever. And he's like the small role in it. It's like, it would really skew the facts. Like that Vin Diesel movie, Saving Private Ryan, was great. Nothing to do with Tom Hanks and Matt Damon and all the other characters.
I feel like Matt Damon isn't really, he's a small role in that movie too.
I mean, he was still fairly new, but he is the title character.
Yeah, he is Private Ryan.
Yeah.
So yeah, Buffy gets up, she runs off, and then we go back to the fight with Glory and Willow, and then Willow starts like some other spell to attack Glory, and it's not very effective. Glory's like, "Are you kidding me, dude? You're gonna do this shit?"
She breaks the glass mirror, then she throws knives, and then there's snakes.
Well, hold on. This is before, like, Glory gets attacked, and she's like, "You think that's gonna hit? That was like a mosquito bite." She rips off her dress, which was pretty badass. Then she just punches Willow. Willow shoots knives at Glory from a bag, and those knives were terrible CGI knives.
The way that Glory blocks them with the like forearms up, it's like ding, 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 ding.
Yeah,
it's like all right.
Yeah, and then Willow calls upon the spirit of serpents, and they like go around Glory's legs, and Glory just like stomps them out. She's like, "What the fuck?"
We got a lot of Craft vibes. The Craft,
yeah,
a movie that we reviewed on Boys Watching Movies Patreon.
Yep. And then Glory's like, "Dude, you're running out of power. You don't know how to handle all this stuff. You're getting weak, and all of your spells now are just bullshit." And she goes up and she grabs Willow, and Willow just spits in Glory's face, which I still hold to this day as one of the most disrespectful things you can do to a person.
Oh, absolutely. And the spit was so thick. And just like it was obviously not real spit when you cut the Glory's face. The way it's like globbing off of her, it was like the weirdest.
It was like a loogie
ever. It was like, but it was like this. Oh, it was so gross looking. But it was definitely like not like that like spit that would have all the spittle and the foam in it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Glory, that just serves to piss Glory off even more. She picks up Willow and she shoves her against the wall, and she's like, "You know, I ate your girlfriend's brain. I'm going to eat your fucking brain now." And then she rears back with a fist or something.
No,
to,
she
beat her up some more.
She picks up a knife, one of the knives. She puts her against the wall, and then she's like, "You know what they used to do with the witches back in the day?" And then they used to crucify
them. Yeah,
yeah. That's the part. Yeah.
So she rears back with the knife, and just as she's about to go for it, Buffy shows up, grabs her hand, and she's like, "Not today, sister."
Today I'm strong enough to fight you for a little bit, because there's one line where you've been weakened by the witch powers that seem to not weaken you at all.
Yeah. And so Buffy starts taking it to Glory, and Glory's literally just taking all of these punches.
Oh, yeah,
not trying to defend herself, not trying to hit back. Buffy's just wailing on her, and she does nothing to like defend herself.
I love when Glory sees that it's Buffy there, and she has this like crazy Joker smile on her face, like, I get to fight you for a little bit. Yeah. Like,
so they're fighting for a little bit, and then eventually Willow comes back to Willow stuff, and she puts another molasses spell on.
I love that you call it
Glory.
molasses. It's basically
She says molasses.
Did she say molasses?
I think the first time that she does it, she says something about molasses, and then as she's leaving this time around, she says thicken.
Mm. Yeah, because it has the effect of like when a vampire tries to walk into the doorway.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Some kind of force field.
Or from the season 1 when the master's trying to get out of the Hellmouth, which we've come so far from that I think people can go back and forth so quickly between realms.
Yeah.
He was like, "I can't get out of here until there's enough." And what was the first? It was like they had to do something. It was called something that they had to do. Like they had to kill a bunch of people.
It was the harvest.
Yeah, the harvest. Now it's like, you don't need the harvest. You just walk. There's a door.
But after Willow does the thicken spell, she and Buffy escape. And Glory's just standing there like, "This isn't over. This ain't over." And then we go to the next scene where Buffy, Willow, and Dawn and Tara are all back at, I guess, Tara's dorm?
I could not tell where they were. It seemed like they were in like some abandoned, I didn't know where. I could not tell where they were at all.
To me, it looked like Tara's dorm from last season, but I thought that Tara and Willow live together now, and that their dorm looked completely different. Or is Willow living alone and they just hang out at Willow's all the time?
It looked like a hideout. It really did look like they were in a hideout. I don't think they're in the dorms, especially at the end.
But like
they're not in a giant building.
Yeah, it looked like the wall was like a chalkboard or something. Like it looked dark.
Yeah, I don't know where they are, but aren't they all on the floor? There's no seats. There's no chairs.
Yeah, they're all on the floor, and they're about to eat lunch, and Buffy's handing out all the stuff, and Willow has to feed Tara applesauce because Tara is like just spewing nonsense, like just talking nonsense, and Willow's like, "Yeah, well, it sucks that she's like this, but that's my girl, and I stick with her, and I'm gonna stick with her till the end." And then she pops open this applesauce and she starts, "Here comes the airplane," to Tara. And then Dawn says, "I want to help. Can I help?" And Willow's like, "Yeah," and just gives her the applesauce. And then Dawn starts feeding her. I was like, ew, dude.
Yeah. I was like, this feels, she's not like an infant. And you're like, "Oh, you want to hold the baby? Like, you can feed her the applesauce?" It's like, I don't know. I
hated everything about this feeding Tara thing. Like, and even when Dawn is like, "Can I help?" and Willow's like, "Yeah," and just gives her all of the response. Like, number one, how is she going to help? I don't know. But something about them feeding Tara just really rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know why.
I just wrote down that this is a kind of a weird arc to have Willow be like, and from the beginning, like, she doesn't understand what it's like to lose a loved one, you know? And now she has lost a loved one. So now they have a conversation and Buffy's like, yada, yada. She goes, "I understand." And Willow's like, I know you do. And I do too. So now we're in the same boat now.
So now let me tell you how to raise Dawn.
Now will you listen to me?
Here's how you raise Dawn. You feed her applesauce and you restrain her at night. All right?
Oh, yeah. That speech about like, I have to restrain her at night, but sometimes she's okay. And Buffy's like, "Yeah, dude, I dated a vampire and I would have to get him blood, all the time." So like, yeah, I don't know. I was like, I was thinking, restraining her at night probably wouldn't be that hard because you're a witch with witch powers, as opposed to just being a 20-something-year-old girl having no restraint. But like, how are you taking care of this person fully? Like, that's heavy. Like, feeding her, putting her to like,
it's a lot.
I think, I mean, what Willow has is a lot worse than what Buffy has with Dawn. At least Dawn's functional, can like do stuff.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Tara's like, they're like, "Hey, what do you think about it, Tara? Is it good?" And she's like, 6 watches, love Swiss wrist watches.
Yeah, I was like, I hate this for her as an actor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. I feel so bad for Amber Benson. Like, it's so bad what they're doing to her, what they're saddling her with.
I'm like, are they gonna? I'm like, because I was like, oh, this is crazy if they kill her off this episode. Like, I thought they were gonna kill her on the bench, and I was like, this will be wild. And now I'm like, does she just bounce back and have another season? Does she die at the end of this one? Like, I don't know, man.
They cannot keep her like this. This has to be an end of. I know that you said it would be terrible if they kill Glory and like all of the souls go back. It has to be something like, I cannot stand to see Tara like this.
Yeah, I don't think you can keep Tara like this for another season.
Yeah.
It's going to be rough the next couple episodes, but I think it has to be like a Dr. Intern Ben does something where he touches her head and heals. I need something other than like all the brain stuff goes back to normal after she leaves. Like,
my first thought after this episode is I was like, they're going to figure out a spell to do to reverse this. And then my second thought after that was like, man, that'd be crazy if they figure out a spell to fix Tara and Amy's still a rat.
Yo, honestly, we just saw Willow floating in the air shooting lightning and she can't turn a rat back into a person. God, Amy the rat.
Yeah, I mean, that Amy must have been like the most powerful witch in the world if like they can't turn her back. Like, how powerful was that spell?
Amy turned Buffy into a rat and turned her back. They watched it happen. Do they not remember the spell? I think it was like Radicus turned Backicus. Have they tried it? Have they tried?
I don't know. Just get Xander to read some random shit from a book. Probably be better than whatever the fuck they're doing. So after this like kind of tender moment where Dawn's feeding Tara, Buffy's like, I understand what you're going through, Willow. Willow's like, I understand what you're going through, Buffy. Like, we're all in this together. The entire wall of this safe house rips off. And they're all like, what the fuck is this? And Glory shows up and she goes, bitches, I told you this shit ain't over. It's like, yes.
That is the best character intro ever. Like,
I told you this isn't over. I loved it.
They're fucked, dude. That's the end of the show. It's over.
Well, not only are they fucked about just like Glory's here to kick all of their asses and kill them all, Tara, crazy Tara, who can now see beyond reality, from which we saw like several episodes ago, looks over at Dawn and she starts going, the light, I can see the light. It's a beautiful green light. And then a close up of Dawn like, shut the fuck up, Tara, fuck. And then a close up of Glory, and Glory's like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. Now I gotcha. And I was like, yes.
And then a close up of Buffy, who has this like, uh-oh. Like, yeah. Her face has a, oh, this sucks.
She absolutely does have that. Rats.
Darn it. And if you're Tara, you got to think, wow, you still gave her up. You could have had your mind and gave her up. You would have felt a little bad morally. My thing about the key is, it's one of those things where we're like, oh man, we don't want to see Dawn get hurt, right? Mm-hmm. And depending on if you care about Dawn or not as a character, you know? Yeah. She's like new. And you care about her, just, you know, Buffy's sister, but she's fake, but whatever. I just don't know what the key does. I know that they say this key will kill a lot of people, but normally we get at this point the ramifications, like, because we've already been through the Ascension, right?
Yeah,
and we had a lot.
I mean, they
of,
talked about the Ascension a lot.
Yeah, and it was like, if this thing, well, they didn't know what it was exactly, and then Anya filled them in on how seriously dangerous an Ascension was. But they knew this thing was crazy, and like they kept trying to figure out ways, and like, he can't get this box, he can't get this thing, he got to stop him from doing this thing. With Glory, they're like, Dawn's the key, we just have to make sure she doesn't get the key. And I'm like, you're doing a terrible job by letting the key still exist in Sunnydale, for one. Yeah. like step one, get the key outside of Sunnydale. Step two, figure out what the key does, you even have to pull a Batman, where you have to figure out how to destroy the key if the key falls into the wrong hands. Like in a weird, like, morally, like, trouble thing. And, like, Giles needs to be thinking about this as opposed to, like, Buffy. Mm-hmm. Like, I think the Watchers seem, like, indifferent about the key. They're like, oh, yeah, it's a demon going after the key. It'll probably hurt a bunch of shit. We're going to go back to London. Like, do you guys care? Like, does this affect you at all?
Like, meanwhile, we haven't seen hide nor hair of the Knights of Byzantium in so many episodes. Those guys were hell-bent on destroying the key, and they will send hundreds, and then if not hundreds, thousands, and if not thousands, millions to destroy this key. We saw like 6 of them, and they're gone.
Do you think they show up on horseback at the end of this episode, at the end of this season, and just like a bunch of them come and they're like, it's like the Game of Thrones Battle of the Bastards, like they just come riding in over the Sunnydale hills.
Buffy's like on her last leg fighting Glory, and then she just hears, on your left.
I could do this all day.
Yeah.
And it's like the Knights of Byzantium. But they want to destroy the key more than Glory. So like she had to like fight them off to like I don't know. I don't know where this is gonna go. I don't know.
I thought the Knights of Byzantium was like an interesting wrinkle because it was like 3 factions. They all have different goals, but like they just haven't been around.
Or they even not even just the goals. They have the information. They know what the key is. They know when it opens.
They know at least a little bit more than what the Scoobies know currently.
Yeah.
Like you didn't even need the Watchers to come. Just get the Knights of Byzantium, get them in the magic box, get Giles to do his little crackly crack knuckle, whatever cracking. Like,
here's what I'll say though: Giles becoming a Watcher again has served zero purpose.
Oh yeah, except for he vaguely gets paid now.
Great, like that. What he was already driving a red convertible and he running a magic shop. Like none of this mattered. Last season he didn't have a job and he was doing fine too. Like it doesn't
he
matter.
got the red convertible before he got the magic box.
I know. Like he's fine. Like him becoming a Watcher was like, yay, he's back, but we're getting nothing from it.
Yeah. I mean, so far, a lot of loose ends, like a lot of like the Knights of Byzantium. Like I thought that was going to be, I mean, I'm sure they have to come back.
Yeah. I have faith in this show because how they've been doing things. I know that they will wrap this thing up in a good way. I know they will tie stuff together. I'm not like, I don't feel like we're in unsafe hands. These are just questions I have watching the show. As
we're going along.
Yes. Like I'm sure next episode we'll figure out what the key is for, what it unlocks. We'll find out more things. I'm sure that it'll all come together.
I will say, even though this wasn't my favorite episode, and I think some of the acting was real stinky in this one, I feel like a lot of it was worth it to get that last scene of Glory ripping the wall off, being like, I'm back. I said it isn't over. And then seeing that Dawn is the key and being like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mentioned earlier, I was like, we cannot have Glory be like, oh, well, now this is the key again. Like, we couldn't do it a third time. Like, it had to be like, they have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, she can't just keep, like, going through the Scoobies. I mean, like, it's not this one. It's not this one. It's not this one. Unless that was going to be her plan from the beginning, which she said it was.
Yeah.
But now, I don't know how they get out of this.
Me neither. I will say, what were our predictions for this episode last time? I don't remember.
Oh, gosh. What is the title of this one?
Tough Love? I think that I said it was going to be something to do with Spike or something.
Yeah, I think... Oh, I think I doubled down on my prediction of the third party coming back and it being a brotherly sibling love. So I kind of got a little bit of that with Dr. Intern Ben in the locker room. I really thought they were going to have an argument with each other there. But
the next episode is titled Spiral.
I did see the thumbnail for this.
How do you see all these thumbnails?
Because I watch it on Hulu, and then you go back. Because I have to pull the clips. Sometimes I'm not on it, so I don't just hit play and then stop.
Okay. Fair.
But the thumbnail for this is literally the end of this episode with her like Glory's face.
Oh,
so I don't really have new information.
Spiral. I'm gonna say that the key opens a spiral to hell or something. That's what we're gonna learn about it.
I'm with you. I think this episode we have to learn what the key actually does, because I could see Dawn getting kidnapped and then Buffy going into the magic box and being like, Giles, we have to figure out what the key's for. I know we've had all season. I know you flew to London and back. But now we really have to figure this thing out because now it's important.
Or is someone in a spiral? Maybe Willow's in a spiral. I thought that Willow was going to like turn evil and like there was going to be like a fight between Buffy and Willow.
Yeah. I would love this episode to be the one that the dad comes back. I would love
Dad,
him.
Not now.
Yeah.
I've got shit going on, dude.
He's like, where's Dawn? oh, she's been kidnapped by a god from another demon dimension. And he's like, Buffy, enough of this. Like, I'm
tired of your dames.
I flew all the way over here from Spain. I left all
my secretary to come over here.
I left my secretary and some tapas. Oh my god. Do you think Riley shows up at the end of this season, Errol?
Yo, if Riley shows up and just shoots Glory with a bazooka and like like the judge.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. And then like you don't see where the bazooka is shooting from, but you just see the bazooka shoot, and then all of the Scoobies turn around, and then it's just like zoom in on Riley with the bazooka, and he says something like, "Sup, Buff?" or something like that.
That's not Riley. I could just see Riley like tipping his hat because he's got a cool hat on now. He just tips
he's got a beret?
Yeah, and he
like
just
Graham had the beret?
Yeah, he just tips his beret and just disappears again. Like, it'd be so bad.
I feel like Riley's done. I don't think he's coming back.
I do too, and it's it seems like they.
I mean, it was so much.
Yeah,
it was so much of Buffy's growth this season. I feel like was learning how to deal with him leaving. I guess that if he came back, it might rob her of that.
I mean, they left on they split on such bad terms, or like not bad terms. It was bad terms, but also just like unresolved
miscommunication.
Yeah, like
not a lot of closure.
At least for Riley. I could see Riley not wanting to come back. But I gotta say, if you're working for a government that tackles demons all the time, you're gonna go to Sunnydale.
Right, dude? Like
your job will take you to Sunnydale.
How do they not just have like an ambassadorship like in Sunnydale? Just stationed.
They were hunting demons nonstop with the initiative in Sunnydale, right? And then all of a sudden they were like, well, the initiative's down, so I guess let's just travel the world. I'm like, you guys were camped like here just dominating it. Like there's enough demon activity here for a ton of things.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But anything else to say about Tough Love, Vance?
I'm looking forward to the next episode. This was one of the we have been getting cliffhangers, but we haven't recently. And this cliffhanger really made me go like, oh yeah, if I was binging, I'd have kept playing.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Spiral, but thanks for listening to our episode on Tough Love, everybody. Really appreciate it. Love that, love that, love that. Follow us on Patreon. We got patreon.com/Boys Watching Buffy, where we're doing Angel, Boys Watching Movies, Joe's Fashion Report /corner. We also have an Instagram at Boys Watching Buffy. Email boyswatchingbuffy@gmail.com. If you want to get a shout out, 5-star Apple Podcast rating and review, or a 5-star Spotify rating, screenshot it, send it to my DMs at Joe Welke. Amazon wishlist, throw in wishlist, join our Discord. We have a bunch of lively chatter going on there. Final review on Baja Blast energy drink, Vance. What'd you think?
I thought it was all right. Like it wasn't a game changer for me. I don't know. I gotta say, it's weird because it's a delayed caffeine kick in. Because I don't feel like I'm hyped up now, but I feel like I will be in like an hour or less. I don't know. It takes a while for this to kick in, more so than I would say coffee.
Okay,
but
fair enough.
What is your review after having?
I mean, I love
forever?
it. I love Baja Blast. I fucking will cry. I will get blasted every day. Yeah. Like I'll get a Baja Blast Zero from Taco Bell. That's my fucking shit. I could do that every single day. In fact, I just buy Diet Mountain Dew or Mountain Dew Zero, and I'll have one a day as that's my coffee substitute, I guess.
Yeah.
This caffeine is a little intense to do one every day. I save it for the podcast.
Yeah. Well, I have a ton of them, so I'm going to be drinking them for the podcast.
Yep. And I've got a ton of them too.
And I will say, I don't dislike it.
No, it's good.
Yeah. I just, I don't know. It was one of those weird things. I grew up drinking soda all the time, and it was like the one thing that I was able to not drink anymore. I guess because I started drinking beer and booze, so I would like not get a soda when I had meals. So it wasn't like, I don't know. Yeah, sodas are not one of those things where I'm like, oh, I just want a soda. I like almost never get soda. It's weird.
Yeah, I get them. Like I said, I'll drink like one Mountain Dew a day. Or if I go to a movie, gotta get a soda with a popcorn.
I do a water and a popcorn. I don't know.
I know, it's wild, dude. It's wild.
I gotta counteract all the salt from that giant tub of popcorn I'm eating.
Yeah, dude. Popcorn's so good. Anyway.
All right, what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's your review on popcorn?
But yeah, thanks Tofu Lover for the Mountain Dew. And also thanks for all of our listeners. You guys rule. Thanks for sticking with us and being dope ass people to, chat with on Discord. Chat with on Instagram. I don't know. I chat with some of you guys.
Yeah, we're chatting all over the place. We're very active on Discord. You ask us something, we respond.
A genuine thanks for your support. Really appreciate it. And with that being said, that is all for this episode. Stay tuned for next time when we talk about Spiral.
I told the cats. And now I beg my mother, sitting all alone. My dear, I'll see you tomorrow. I love you.
Willow, no. It's just for one night.
Yeah, I know, but it's a whole night. I don't think I can sleep without her.
You can sleep with me?
Well, now that came out a lot more lesbian than it sounded in my head.
Seltzer Kings
Podcasts.